CEO of the Equity Foundation, all protocol observed. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education, and on behalf of the County Director of Education, Mr. Dixon Magonya, who is out on an official function, I want to welcome you all to Kakamega County for this auspicious. Indeed, you are aware that Kakamega County is one of the counties which is receiving enormous support, especially onto the Elimu scholarship and Wings to Fly, courtesy of the Equity Foundation, of which we are very much grateful. Now, to the learners, ours is to ask you to do what pertains to this support. That getting the support is one thing, and becoming profitable to the society in the future tomorrow is another thing. Because God has granted you this opportunity, and we expect you as you go to the various schools to perform and give your all, so that tomorrow you change this county and the community at large. Your service is greatly required after you become the person that God intended you to be. Without much ado, because of the higher protocols, I want to stop at this particular point, but be aware that the support should not be in vain. May God bless you abundantly. Thank you.
That God bring them together for the benefit of this country. We want to come up with this plan so that He guide us. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Everybody say, Amen. Thank you very much.
The Deputy Governor, Kakamega County, the CEC, the CDE, the staff of Equity Bank, led by the General Manager, Operations, invited guests, the beneficiaries program that has touched the lives of many. So feel most welcome, and I really want to thank God for you, and I want to thank God for this day. Thank you very much, Bwana Manager, for this opportunity. You feel most welcome.
And I think we must thank God for that. We had 7 CSACs in the community, selection advisory committee, and 2 CCB is Community Selection Scholarship Board, which went through the process of doing the selection and came up with this number. And therefore, I would want to invite the DCC of Central Kakamega on behalf of the CSACs and the CSSBs to give a few remarks.
Thank you very much. The CEO, Equity Bank, Dr. Mwangi, our County Commissioner, Kakamega County, Madam Dola, the Deputy Governor, Masinde Muliro University, the Deputy Governor, Kakamega County, Wanakutima, Professor, the county education officers, Equity Bank staff, board, community Scholarship Selection Board and successful applicants for the Elimu and Wings to Fly. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Ngali Andaya, the Deputy County Commissioner of Kakamega Central, and I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the board that did the Community Scholarship Award selection to welcome the CEO and the County Commissioner and all other invited guests ceremony. And I also want to take this moment to introduce the board that did the selection on behalf of all other boards for the county. Kindly, all the board members present here today, please stand up. Board members drawn from various institutions, and we will not introduce each and every one of them personally, but we want to acknowledge the wonderful job that they did. I was the chair of that board, and we had the Mr. Kabora, who is from the Ministry of Education and the Sub-County Director, but these are just a representation. They are not the entire board for the county. Kindly wave our guests as a form of greeting. Thank you very much. Be seated. I want to say that the chief guest, ladies and gentlemen, that these men and women worked tirelessly and with commitment to ensure that we had the most deserving candidates and applicants getting these scholarships. I want to also say that the experience that we went through during the selection was able to inform us of some very wonderful lessons that we were able to learn. I want to tell the successful applicants here today that they were selected because of their hard work, commitment, and because they deserved. Guest of honor, I want to share some few words that I told some of these applicants during interviews. That at some point we were treated to theatrics and what have you. And to arrive at them during interviews, we had to go and undertake elaborate measures so that we selected the most deserving. And at some point, we noticed that there are places where some applicants would hire homes. And we said as a board that we need to identify the most deserving. And to do that, we had to observe high integrity and commitment to the process. And I want to share one of the words I said to an applicant, that education and qualification will get you far, but honesty and integrity can take you further than both hard work and education and qualifications. So I want to wish the successful applicants a very successful life. And I want to thank the government and Equity Bank for having given us the opportunity to serve our community as Kakamega County Community Scholarship Award Board. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Thanks, Bwana DCC, for those nice remarks. Allow me to appreciate the principals who have so far come. Principals, we are very grateful for your punctual attendance. I know most of you are still on the way, but this is a good show. We are very appreciative of that. Now, allow me also to invite the CEC Education, Kakamega County, also to come and make a few remarks. Dr.
Thank you very much, the CEO Equity Bank, the Deputy Governor, the Commissioner, and all protocols observed. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Olo Lutomia, CC Education, Kakamega County. I'm here to just say that now there is hope. When we see you seated the way you are seated, and already your fees assured and learning assured, we are aware that there is hope. All that the county government is trying to put in place towards education and the support we are getting from both the national government and Equity gives us hope that children from this county will also get this share that will enrich this county towards good academic standards within this region. As a parting shot, I want to tell you that now where you are going is a destiny that will reach towards a higher level of what you have always dreamed for. Your dream has come true. Just go for it. Come back with the colors that you want, and let us shower you with all that we can afford to give you. What we can only tell you is that as you pursue your education, we shall assure you that chances are that we shall also employ you. Thank you very much. Let me not take a lot of time out of this. It is not my day. Thank you.
Thanks, Bwana CC. I also want to recognize the presence of I want to recognize the presence of CEC, Water, Environment and Resources, Mr. Kulati. We welcome. In our we also have our Vice Chancellor for University, Professor Solom Shibairo. So again at this stage, I want to invite Mr. Yango from the Ministry of Education. Mr. Yango, where are you? I think we are making good progress. I want at this stage, I want to invite our able county commissioner also to make a few remarks.
Dr. Mwangi, Deputy Governor, CEC Education and Water, Your Lordship Bishops who are here with us, senior officials from Equity Bank, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and our lucky learners who are with us here today, who have qualified for Elimu and Wings to Fly scholarship. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam.
Morning once again.
Good morning, Madam.
Yeah, my name is Bolin Dola. I'm the County Commissioner for Kakamega County. First and foremost, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome the CEO to Kakamega County. We are honored to have you here with us. And we are also very lucky because he told us that Kakamega has received the second largest number of scholarships, almost 700. Why don't you clap for him? Thank you. You are not here by mistake. And your destiny is in your hands. You can decide to become whatever you want from today going forward. As you see me standing here, I came from a village school somewhere in Siaya, but I went to Kenya High School. My father was a primary school teacher, my mother was a housewife. But I'm standing before you as the County Commissioner of Kakamega, isn't it?
Yes.
So you can become whatever you choose to be. And discipline starts from home. Your living status does not determine who you become at the end of the day. You can come from a very humble background. You could even be an orphan. You could come from a home where both your parents drink a lot of alcohol. But that should not determine what you do what. Don't make excuses that baba yangu walikuwa wanapigana na mama, I could not do what? I could not study. You get what I mean? You can even use this firewood that you blow and you study with it at night. There are people who have done that. So this house is full today. We'd like to see you at the end of the 4 years. We don't want you to waste this opportunity. We'd like to see all of you go to college and become something in future. There are a lot of young people getting involved in drug abuse and other vices. So when you go to school, you should know where you are coming from. You should know who has sponsored you in school. So, don't get involved in other activities. Don't let peer pressure. Do what? Don't get involved in peer pressure. So that you now want to belong to a certain clique of youth in school. You know who you are, you know where you are coming from, and you want to change your life and that of your family. I can give you a short story. There's a young man. The mother used to, a distant relative of ours, used to brew changa in Homa Bay County. And I told her, I'm not going to be talking to the police to assist you. But I'm going to open a business for you to sell fish. Si mnajua omena? So I opened up that business for her. This woman had very bright children. So one of them got to university. He did so well. He managed to get a scholarship. And he went to Canada. Right now, as we speak, he has taken 4 of his siblings there, and the wife has also taken their siblings. This woman who used to walk barefoot in the village now lives in a 5 million house in the village. Last year, they bought her a car. So she even has a driver and a car in the village. People are not believing. So you can become whatever you choose to do what? To be. But discipline must be paramount. You must respect your parents. You also must respect your teachers when you go to school. And you must respect God. Every day, because it is God that has allowed you to be here today, isn't it? The CEO told us that there were so many applicants, but only 11,000 qualified. When are you more special than those other ones? It is God, isn't it?
Yes.
So every morning and every evening, you must kneel down and do what? Pray and thank Him, and simply tell God that this is what I want for my future, and God is going to do what? Help you to reach your goal. So mine is to wish you well. The sky is the limit. Those who want to become administrators are with us. Doctors are here. Engineers are here. Lawyers are here. And even bishops are here. And even CEOs of banks like Dr. Mwangi, isn't it? Yeah, so the sky is the limit. And I wish you all the best. And may God bless you. Thank you.
Thanks, County Commissioner, thanks for the wise words of counsel. I believe students are learning a lot from these remarks. I love you also to appreciate our guests who have joined us and our customers. We invited a few customers also to grace them. Feel free, be part of us. We are very appreciative of your attendance. I want us to watch a video. This video is about the process, the selection process. So that for those of us who did not participate, you can see the rigorous process that went through to come up with this team of 670 out of applications of 7,500. So we are going to watch the video. It will take us about 7 minutes. I believe all of us are able to watch the screens. In addition to audience and clients, we had also invited religious leaders. I can see quite a number have stand up. We are very grateful for your patience. Thanks and welcome. Sorry, as we set up, I also want to recognize the presence of the county.
I came to see what Dr. James Mwangi's team is doing. Very well composed team.
The selection of Wings to Fly and Elimu scholarships across Kenya started in earnest in early June. The 2021 selection of the Wings to Fly scholarship program and Elimu scholars by Equity Group Foundation and partners involved long interview days by community scholars selection boards, CSSBs, and community scholars advisory committees, CSAC. Scholars who sat the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education KCPE exams and scored over 350 marks were eligible to apply for Wings to Fly scholarships, while those who managed 280 marks and above were encouraged to seek Elimu scholarships.
I came to see what Dr. James Mwangi's team is doing, a very well composed team. There are 9,000 scholarships through the wisdom of the president. They have decided to give 3,000 of them to Kenyan children in slums and informal settlements.
What you do is the most important process in this scholarship. The fact that you do this as pro bono, it's not for pay, it's a give back service to community, is what makes this program powerful. That everybody gives their own time, everybody gives their own resources to make it happen.
Elimu scholarship is really boosting the lives and education of our pupils, especially those children who come from very needy backgrounds.
As human beings, we basically have to assist each other more so in terms of challenges and problems. And we find that this program of the Equity Bank, the Wings to Fly, has actually done that.
In the remote village of Kakamega in Mbeere South, Caroline Wanja is getting ready for the day. Although she braces to move about, Wanja has not let this physical challenge stop her from pursuing her life dreams and ambitions.
I scored 250 in KCPE. I've been called to Fly Girls High School in Chuka. I am the third born in this family.
The death of Wanja's father left her mother the responsibility of fending for the family alone.
Some of the challenges that I used to face in school is that I was sent home for food, that is 4 tins of maize and 2 tins of beans, which we used to eat for lunch.
At 1 year old, Brian Ochieng survived a fire that burnt their house and affected one of his hands. Despite his disability, Brian does not see himself as different from other people. Brian lives with his father and 4 siblings in a 1-roomed tin house in Mradi village in Mathare 4A slum.
I was told that when my mother went out to look for supper, I was left sleeping. There was a burning candle. When I was about to climb down, the fire cut my sweater, which burnt me my left hand and my eyes.
Although Brian remained home 2 months to sit in KCPE, he managed to score 355 marks.
People do look at me like I'm different, but me, I see myself as I am like them, because I can write, I can read, and I can see.
A few kilometers from Lodwar in northeastern Kenya lives 16-year-old Faith Lore. Faith is an orphan, having lost her mother at a tender age. She lives with her aged grandmother. Faith's education at Komponi Primary School was hampered by many challenges. She, however, endured to score 307 marks in the KCPE exams and gain admission to Lodwar Girls High School.
I was living with my mother, like they got separated with my father. I don't know where my father was. And my mother died in 2013. So I must work so that I can get help to continue with my studies.
Kama yeye anasoma mzuri, nachukua namba mzuri, takuja kufanyia kazi serikali pamoja na Equity.
Bright Mambura is a brilliant boy from Kiwandani in Kilifi town. The firstborn child in a family of 8 sat his KCPE 3 days after his mother passed away. Earlier, his father had died in a fall from a coconut tree. The 8 children live under the care of a widowed aunt who has 5 children of her own.
Naishi Kiwandani kwa ploti yenye tuliachwa na wazazi wetu, na walivyotuacha kwa nyumba yenye hata saa hii ni kama imeanguka nusu.
Kazi yangu mimi ni ya kuchemsha mahindi na kuzungusha. Nikipata nigawanye mara 2, nigawanye chakula huku kiliwe na huko kuna bread pia ni chakula wali.
Kishel Morwak is located north of the Masai Mara Game Reserve. The Narok West CSSB members are looking for the home of Lato Mereru, who scored an impressive 397 marks in her KCPE exams.
I and my twin brother, we finished college, and my mother was to give me to be married off, and my brother was to go and look after so that we'll get school fees.
In Kisumu, a home verification visit of CSAT members is underway. Cabinet Secretary for Education, Professor George Makoha, leads the committee on a home verification visit. The team arrives at Vincent Odhiambo's home. Vincent lost his father in early childhood, leaving his mother, a tailor, struggling to make ends meet.
I was very active in maths and science. When I got the Elimu scholarship, I was very glad.
For me, I'm seeing a star that is going to shine simply because of this scholarship.
It's another day for the Nyeri CSSB members who are making their way to various homes to ascertain that information given by students shortlisted for admission to the Wings to Fly program is indeed true. At Edward Njoroge's home in Ishagashio in Tetu, Nyeri, they find the visually impaired mother. Edward is out looking for work to provide for his family. Moments later, Edward arrives to find the CSSB team conducting the verification of his neediness.
I write science because it is understandable very fast. I write English because it is enjoyable, and mathematics because I scored well.
Hussein Noor from Kuno village in Balambala sub-county in Garissa County is the only child in the family of 8 who has completed class 8. He is ready for high school, having sat the KCPE exams to get a remarkable 392 marks.
I heard about Wings to Fly when I was in class 7, and I was working hard to get that one.
Another verification visit is at the home of Valerie Ongachi in Ikunza village, Vihiga County. Valerie scored 362 marks in the KCPE exams despite the challenges she faced at home. She lost her father, the breadwinner of the family, in the year 2020. Valerie plans to use the opportunity provided by the Wings to Fly program to achieve her goal of becoming a surgeon.
I was called at my dad's locally, and when I got the Wings to Fly scholarship, I felt very good because I knew they pay for me school fees, and me, I work hard to achieve my dreams.
These scholars are representative of thousands of others admitted to the Wings to Fly and Elimu scholarships countrywide, giving them an opportunity to pursue their dreams of a better life for themselves, their families, and communities. The Wings to Fly program is an initiative of the Equity Group through the Equity Group Foundation, Mastercard Foundation, KFW, and a generous individual. Elimu Scholarship Program is a partnership between the Equity Group Foundation, the World Bank, and the Government of Kenya.
Thanks, as Libby, we've learned something to take home. It's about giving back to the society. Allow me to also recognize the presence of OCPD, Mr. David Kabena, and OCS, Mr. Godana, for being here with us. They are the ones who've been in charge of security for the last 2 days, and we want to appreciate you for that service. Now, allow me to take this opportunity with humility to invite our Deputy Governor, Professor Philip Mutima, to come and address his sons and daughters. And thereafter, Professor will invite the Chairman, Equity Group Foundation, Dr. James Mwangi.
The CEO
Equity Bank, Dr. James Mwangi, the County Commissioner, Bishop Okech of SEK, Bishop Opanyo, Catholic Church, the Vice Chancellor, Masinda Mriro University of Science and Technology, the national government and the county staff that are present here today, the board members who have done a fantastic job in the selection of these beneficiaries, and the beneficiaries. Good morning. I have watched the clip that was just shown there, and it reflects quite a lot. And even the people that are even seated here, I'm sure they went through that kind of life, but I'll come to that later. In the year 2013, CEO Equity Bank, when we were elected, His Excellency, Dr. Oparanya was elected as the governor, and me as his deputy. One of the things that we looked at immediately was the status of education in Kakamega County. And we realized that instead of Kakamega going up, standards were going down. We started by setting up a task force, an education task force, that did make some recommendations that we have been following. So among the things that were recommendations were, if we could set up some centers of excellence, and indeed we decided we shall set up. Kakamega has 12 sub-counties, and we decided that each sub-county we must set up a center of excellence. And we set 2 centers of excellence in every sub-county, except one sub-county, Navaholo, which we set up 3 centers of excellence. These were constructed. We spent about 860 million construction of these centers. We also tried to upgrade some primary schools until the government informed us that education of primary schools was not our concern. We weren't appropriating money. Ours was to look at ECD, but we had to finish the centers of excellence. We started county university scholarship program, where 60 students are on scholarship, full scholarships, 24 are in China, and 36 are in our local universities. We emphasize certain areas. We set up word-based bursary and provide 120 million shillings a year. But CEO, as we were having a conversation there, I think when you talked, I was touched when you said, we look at the possibility of converting these bursaries into scholarships. And as my governor comes back, I think I'll float that idea. Because it's not very good to give out 3,000, 5,000 per kid when the fees required is maybe 15,000. Then they spend the rest of the year at home. Better put it in scholarships. At the present time, we also have the county help loans for undergraduates through help. We put some money. We have spent over 100 million on the program.
which has so far benefited 7,523. We have also another program, the Fly and Elimu Help Loans. This for students in the mid-level colleges. We spent about 30 million. We have spent about 30 million to train about 1,000 trainees in these learning institutions. Those are among the few things that we have done to try to uplift standards. And I said that we were setting up centers of excellence. We looked at the schools that we have. Among the schools that we spend money on was Kakamega School. Because when we came in, we found out that Kakamega School had a lot of students, but there was no space. So we built a dormitory just somewhere. It's called Obaranya Dormitory. Also, the eating facility was slightly congested. We tried to help in the expansion of the dining hall. This we did also in other schools. We did at Musimbu, same thing. We did at Butere Girls, and we did in various other schools, because we mind that education is a very important sector in our life. That as it may be, I did mention the clip that was shown. It touched me personally. When I went Form 1, first got Form 1, I didn't have a shirt. So how was I going to go to Form 1? My father was a very old man. We didn't have any source. So my uncle gave me a shirt. I remember it was Shikibu. There used to be shirts called Shikibu. It was very big, oversized, but I had to go to school. And I went to school. Unfortunately, that shirt was stolen. When we had just gone to the parade, because I had only one shirt, so I washed it to hang it so that we go to the parade. We used to have t-shirts for games. When I came back, the shirt had been stolen. So I didn't have another shirt. For some time, the headmaster allowed me to go to class with the t-shirt for games. I tell people quite often that from my Form 1 to my Form 4, I spent not more than 2,000 shillings. Because fortunately, happened to go to a government school where we were paying 450. So Form 1, Form 4, I spent. Poor father was able to pay 1,800. My pocket money at any time that I went to school, including my transport, was 5 shillings. And the way I came from to the school that I was going to, which is Musimbu, I was coming from the other side of Malaba. There used to be a bus called Taifa. If I got Taifa bus, I would pay 4 shillings to Musimbu, remain with 1 shilling. If I missed Taifa, it meant that I had to use 2 shillings and 50 cents to Kakamega, and 2 shillings from Kakamega to Musimbu. So I would spend 4 shillings and 50 cents and I remain with 150 cents. That used to be my pocket money. And I thank God that during those days, we had the post office. And the post office used to serve us very efficiently. At the end of the term, my brother would take 5 shillings, put in an envelope, and post to me. At no time did the money get lost, but these days if you do that, the money will get lost. So that's part of my life. The beneficiaries, I come back to you. You have this dear opportunity. You have been given the wings. You can fly. Please make use of this opportunity that you have been given. Make your parents proud. You come from poor families. You are the only hope in your families. I want to thank IPIT Foundation. You started this program with Wings to Fly. And I read it several times. I had never attended, but I'm proud that today I'm part of it. When you started sponsoring 2,000 a year, and you are able to convince the national government to come with Elimu scholarships, it's because they realize the importance of the program that you are doing. Thank you very much. For the government to come in is because of you. You have changed the lives of many, and you are changing the life of these kids. Beneficiaries, again, you can fly. I would like to take this opportunity to invite Dr. James Mwangi, who has worked very hard to change your life, so that he can address us. Dr. Mwangi.
Thank you very much, Excellency. Kakamega, as a Tima, I'm really glad you spoke your heart. Really proud. You are not ashamed that you went to school on a borrowed chance. I hope our lovely daughters and sons here with us have really appreciated that the future is not a continuation of the past. If a professor's future was defined by his past, most likely today he could also have come with an oversized shirt. Look how well fitting. We're talking about a professor, gone all the across. What an encouragement. Your Excellency, deeply touched and humbled to be willing to go public and encourage others. Kakamega County CEC Education, by George Tomia, Kakamega County CEC Department, Mela Kati, Makia, our County Commissioner, Pauline Dora. Once again, thank you very much for your kindness. Very, very simple, but very effective way of communicating to our young ones. Our Vice Chancellor, Sita Murilo University, Professor Solomon, education center is present. The entire education team is with us here. Our bishops, Bishop Joseph Opani, Catholic Diocese of Kakamega, Bishop Oket, KCPE Diocese of Kakamega, Bishop Daniel Nandi, Leopard Church, Bishop Lapa, Ruma, IFC Church, Bishops and all graduates present. Really delighted to be with you as today. Deeply appreciated section board member led by 6,700 of our own Kenyan children, and really invite their hope for a better future. I want to put your hands together and appreciate your help. I know you are here because you made it happen. Because of a time I've come to appreciate. Nothing just happens. Things are made happen. We had this morning that you were selected out of 7,000. And we already picked 6,700. 607. So actually the percentage, if I make a quick back of envelope, is that for every 7 kids that were presented to the board, they could only pick 1. Only 1. Actually it's not 1, less than 1. So it really mean at the statistics of the entire national program. We had 114,000 applications, and we only had 10,705 scholarships to give. So for every 11 applicants, there was only 1 scholarship. You must have really worked hard to merit that 1 scholarship from 11 candidates for that scholarship. That amounts to about 9% of the entire applicants. Only 9% will get scholarships. I congratulate you for making it. But join me truly in appreciating your guardians and your family. His Excellency the Governor has told us how he went to school with an oversight of his uncle. That is the sacrifice that families make, and families have made to see you here. Your parents and guardians held to hope that a miracle would happen and you'll be able to proceed to high school. And truly, today we are witnessing that miracle happen, and you being assured of going to school. If it were not for the support of your parents, your guardians, neighbors and relatives, you would not have been here today, because you would not have been here. We are here because you are here. For that reason, once again, I want to kindly ask you, we put our hearts together and appreciate those who supported us this far. Thank you very much. We don't necessarily appreciate people because they are present and they can hear. We appreciate the acts of kindness. We show gratitude to those who have touched our lives, because by so doing, we may be inspiring others amidst us to see value in extending generosity, kindness. and acts of humanity to others. I deeply appreciate your real support in appreciating those who have brought you this far. But I'm also aware that the majority of you were led to apply and were assisted to apply by their former teachers. How many of you were guided by their teachers to make the application? Thank you. Now, that tells us how noble the job of a teacher is. It's not just teaching. It's making a difference in the lives of the young people. These scholarships are publicized, but you were very busy in class. And chances are you were not aware of them. But you could see angels in your life. A teacher who believed in your capability chose to reach out and make you aware and help you to make the application. Once again, I know there are many teachers among us. We have invited a couple of principals. Principals, maybe we can see where you are. Principals, do it better. Actually start. You can see. There are no principals on that side. Teachers on that side. Now, actually start. Actually start if you can. Very good. Scholars. Our teachers might not be here, but these are representatives of the teachers. They are in the same profession. They support. And on Monday, we'll be handing you over to them. We are commissioning you to arrive in secondary school. And these are the principals. So let's appreciate all the teachers. Thank you very much. I think as a society, maybe we're not doing enough to appreciate the role that teachers are playing to develop and to shape the future of this country. A country that doesn't invest in its youth is said to be a country busy destroying its future. And here we are, teachers both beyond the classroom and look at the pathways that their children, that they have taught, that they have invested in, to be able to make progress and make careers out of their education. I'm always happy when I'm among teachers, because I realized it was not for my primary school teachers, my secondary school teachers, my high school teachers, my university lecturers, I will not be with you here today. And I want you leading as scholars to really appreciate the life-changing impact of a relationship with a teacher. And we'll talk about it later. And if you have a positive attitude towards teachers and embrace them, so shall the teacher be inspired to embrace you. So you determine the relation that you wish to have with a teacher. I'm glad that they are here. They have brought us this far. Today I asked my colleagues in this region to invite those principals we saw. And principals are really glad, because this is a community-based scholarship. Equity just initiated it. I wanted really to see partnership with you as we go through this journey. That was the reason that as we commission these children, you know where we have started. You have seen the documentary, where they have come from. I'm sure now you are well informed and you'll be able to know how to relate with them. But I also wanted to spend an hour with them. And I know they need more than an hour. But I just wanted to set the theme of coaching and mentoring these children. And then From Monday you can take over and sustain the journey. Today they are too excited because they know they are getting the scholarship. They may not pay, this is like their wedding day, and all of us know what a wedding day is. So I invited you so that maybe by laying the foundation, you can go and build on the foundation for the next 4 years. And together, we can make great men, great leaders for our nation, of these young scholars who will be joining us on Monday. And I'm really glad that you came. My Lord Bishops and the clergy, pastors, and all hierarchies in the church. Hopefully we can recognize you better if we knew where you were. I know, my Lord Bishop, you are here. But if I invite the other clergy to be upstanding, together with the bishop, you can see where you are. Good. Very good. About 5, and about 3 or 4 here. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Again, I deliberately asked our Lord Bishops, our reverends, our fathers in the churches to be invited, because we need them as we walk this journey. We want to invite them to mentors and to coaches while at home. I really liked what you were earlier told by the chair of the selection board, that education is good and important, but your character and personality is equally important. My Lord Bishop, clergy president, we have a job here to help, to shape, and to nurture the persons these children will be. And the teachers can't do it alone. Parents are needed. But as we was observed, and we saw in the creeds, most of them are orphans. They have no parents to coach and mentor. I want to, as I adopt them as my children, my Lord Bishop, adopt these children, and find a way being able to reach out to them. We can be bringing them during the holidays or sessions with you, but we believe their spirituality sanctuary. And to the customers and agents of Equity Bank, I'm very proud that you left your business to be with you. Maybe we could see your heart so that we know where you are sitting, or even get an off card. Or we didn't know. One there. Very good. But you represent. Oh, there's another one there. Bishop, you're also my customer. I think let's be bold. We are customers of Equity. Why are we not starting? Let's all start those who are customers of Equity. Very good. There are many. I really appreciate. You know, sometimes somebody said, James, you started this program. I started this program because I was CEO of Equity. If you didn't support us, this program would never have been. The real heroes of this program are the customers that make Equity to be what. And as you watch these kids, and that's why we invited you, see the Lord you are praying by supporting us to change society and to make society a better place. I mean, our turn to this program. I think the Kenya government. In 2008, we started the Wings of Fly. And we only had money for 152 scholars. But we said, if we made a difference to 152, maybe we will have made a difference and we will have made our mark. But along the way, Mastercard Foundation came in handy and gave us money for 10,000 scholarships. became our anchor party. The government of United States came in and I think gave us about 3,000 scholarships. The German government came in and gave us 3,000 scholarships. And Equity Bank came in and gave us 2,000 scholarships. In total, we now have under the Wings to Fly 19,000 scholars. From a dream of 150, now the maximum scholarships we have ever issued was 3,000 at our best fee. But there is no year we haven't had 30,000 applications. And I knew we were only assisting 10%. And every year, the President of the Republic of Kenya was commissioning the Wings to Fly program. And I would whisper to His Excellency the President, here were 30,000 applications. You have commissioned the 3,000. What will happen to the other 27,000? And I know I almost became an act with the President. Because there was nothing else I talked about whenever I had an opportunity. I want to lead the public to acknowledge the great role that the government of Kenya has done, even beyond the need. The first thing the President told me, okay, James, we'll look at how we can make it. The next thing the President told me, yes, we are going to make secondary day education free, so that the 27 can at least be able to access education. It can be included by having access to free education, like the Wings to Fly. I want today to really acknowledge that great gesture, because millions of our children, hundreds of thousands, are able to get education through the free day secondary education. That responsive to government, to a need being pushed by the private sector, makes me proud to say I'm a Kenyan, because it shows the voice of the private sector is listened to. I kept on telling the President, Mr. President, these are children who have scored a name. They deserve better school. Their choice was better. Children of their age are going to schools of their choice. These ones, we are forcing them to go to this school. And of course, the answer would be, if you are holding a bowl, you are better off than somebody holding that. And I agree, because my Lord Bishop, you can make soup out of a food. But I'm glad 2 years ago, when we had 19,000, the government came in and said, we'll do an application, help us, give us the data about the need in the country, and we shall apply to the World Bank and see. And from that conversation, today the government is the largest sponsor, having given us 18,000 scholarships last year. Today, we have Elimu scholarships, 18,000 of them, and we have Wings to Fly, 19,000. When you combine that, that gives us 37,000 scholars. Those are not scholars. They are scholars going to school. And if you imagine the ones we are seeing here, that those are 670. 670. Now, if you look this and see this is a sea of only 670, you could imagine what 37,000 scholars would look like. Just imagine and just think about this.
37,000. And I want to really thank the government for really scaling this program and making it so impactful. But I want also to turn to the principals we invited. The second reason I invited you was to express my gratitude. When we hand over these scholars to you, so far we shall have 22,000 scholars in high school, meaning 15,000 you have graduated. The good news is nearly 90% of all the scholars we gave you in Form 1 have managed to get to university. Has brought two to bear. That is the power this program has brought. Out of 15,000, 13,000 have made it to university. We said 87% of Wings to Fly scholars are orphans. Now means almost 13,000 of those have managed to get education to the highest level of a university degree. That could never have happened if the principals of our secondary schools were not doing some very special focus on these things. I want to appreciate and recognize that in every school that our scholars go, there is a scholars mentor teacher. There is a gender parity teacher who takes care of this. We believe that is why this program is successful. The Lord that you are praying. So my prayer today, and my Lord Bishop, when you pray eventually, I wish you to intercede on behalf of our principals, is that to what they have done to those orphans, that generosity, that kindness, that care, may the Lord, from our lips to his ears, remember. May it happen. May their children be their biggest source of joy. May their children be their biggest pride because of success. May they always meet people willing to support them, like the way they have supported these children. To what you have done to these children, may God always grant favor that your children receive the same. And I say, Amen. That is the government. I know it's always very difficult for leadership to see them listen. They're used to others sitting and listening. But allow me, and I want to apologize in advance, that I take an hour to talk to my children when you are sitting. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Because I came all the way from Nairobi to talk to these children and spend an hour with them. And my hour is very simple. Is a scholarship is not enough. And we were told by the chair of the selection, there is much, much more. I want to focus on a few things that may help. And we have listened to many people. And I really appreciated the governor's presentation, because he gave himself as an example. If he made it, you make it. Undoubtedly, you make it. But it will take some focus for you to make it. So let me start with the first one. And it was said by the Deputy Commission, or by the County Commission. The first one, you must from today have a purpose for which you want to use this scholarship for. What is the end game? From today we must establish the end game. We are on a walk, we are on a path to achieve a certain objective. to achieve a certain dream. What is that objective? What is that dream? What is it that you want to achieve with this scholarship? Nelson Mandela, in his wisdom, said education is the most powerful tool of changing the world. You have started the journey of accessing education. What change do you want to see this education avail to you? Who do you wish to be at the end of your journey of education? That clarity of who you wish to be, what you wish to achieve, what the objective that you wish to attain, is very important that we set it up front. Because we'll be setting on a journey, we must know where our journey is heading us to. What is the destination of our journey? We can't set on a journey without knowing the destination. Because once we know the destination, we can never get lost. But he who has no destination, wherever he finds them going, it's okay, because they have nowhere, they have no reference point. So today, before we end the day, I wish you submit to your mentors and chaperones just a little piece with your name on what the end game is and what the destination of this journey we have started today is. When you go to school on Monday, share with your principal and share with your teacher and tell them, keep me honest. This is where I want to go. Keep on giving me feedback whether I'm headed to where I wished to reach after 4 years. The teacher will be very kind. They will keep on giving you feedback. Share the same with our religious leaders who are here today and say, pray for me that I reach the destination that I've set myself to. And as you seek their wise counsel, remind them of what your dream is. For us at Equity Bank, will hold you to your dream. We'll do everything humanly possible to make sure you don't lose sight of the dream. I'm sure you know you only remain in this program if you sustainably maintain a B+ grade. Because you entered this program as an A grade student or a B student will not allow you to go beyond your capability. Because then we will say, we gave the wrong person the scholarship. So we take it away from you and give it to the one who would be able to use the scholarship better. So we will keep you honest. But you need much more than Equity Foundation and Equity Bank team to keep you honest. I've realized whenever I want to do something, I always ask some people to keep on giving me feedback. And truly, when I miss the spot, I'm told with honesty, James, I don't think you've achieved what you're setting, because by now this ought to have happened. So purpose becomes our destination. It becomes our shining star that guides us to where we are going. We saw one of the parents saying, I see a shining star. Become that, let the purpose become that shining star. He who doesn't know where he's going can never get lost. So from today, let's really be conscious about what we can do. The second thing is we were told by the chairman about honesty and integrity. I want to extend that conversation and say the greatest threat to that goal and that purpose we have set is yourself. And the first way you become a threat is when you forget who you are. When you forget who you are. That you are a man or a woman on a mission to achieve a certain objective, a mission to achieve a certain purpose. When you lose sight of that star, then you have lost it. Because there is no inspiration and there is no motivation. What will keep you inspired and motivated to pursue your dreams is that a conscious awareness that you have a goal to achieve in 4 years, and you have a goal and an objective to achieve in your entire life. The second reason why you may lose touch and you may be the greatest threat to yourself is when you allow yourself to be derailed by your peer group, your peers. Today we have introduced you to the police. We have introduced you to the team. We have introduced to your religious leaders. We have introduced you to equity staff. Please seek advice. Seek counsel to those who have the wisdom and those who have the knowledge to guide you. Guide you. If you are bright, don't see another bright to lead you. You are all the same age, the same experience. You can't be each other's teacher in life. You can't be each other's guide in life. Guide them. Play with your peers, but seek advice and counsel and wisdom from those who are older than you. You have your parents, you have your teachers, you have your religious leaders, and you have as a secretary back who really support you, who give you the right advice. There was a time I was 14 years, I was 15 years like you, and I made my own mistakes. Kindly learn from my own mistakes. Don't learn from your own mistakes. And I'm not saying, son and daughter, you are not going to make mistakes. But kindly, don't make the mistakes that were made by your parents. They have paid for those mistakes for all their lives. Don't make the mistakes that were made by your teachers. They have been paid for those mistakes for all their lives. Don't make the mistakes that the equity staff have made, because you pay for those mistakes for the rest of your life. But make mistakes that have not been made. Be wise to seek counsel and to seek guidance from those who have been ahead of you. Our society is having a challenge because young people are defying the national rule. But the society becomes better because every generation learns from the previous generation and doesn't repeat the mistakes of the previous generation. That is a learning society. As scholars, let's be a learning community. Otherwise, we'll be timing where past scholars have been. They have made the same mistake. We keep on marching at the same place, timing at the same place, making the same mistake. Well, we could have learned from the mistake they made and progress our society and enhance our performance as scholars. Kindly seek counsel. And we have given you to seek counsel and avoid peer pressure. Peer pressure. The greatest threat is yourself. And that gives me another aspect of why you can be a threat to yourself. I think the biggest challenge is what all of us in front of you went through. At the age of 12, 13, 14, your body is busy trying to convert you, to transform you from a child to an adult. The boys will tell me they have already broken their voices. The voice code has already indicated. And you can hear them as they speak. That doesn't make you a man. You are still a student. In school, the only men in school are the teachers. We will remain students, irrespective of whether even we start developing beards. Please remember that what is going through your body, and particularly as a girl, my daughters, by the time you are reaching Form 4, you are completely transformed, because by 18, nature will be honoring you to join the age of majority. The adult, even Kenya government will then honor you by giving you an ID and saying to you how you can sue and you can be sued. Now that process of transforming you from a child to an adult is a journey that is involuntary. It happens to all of us. But hormones get to work and make our bodies go through a phenomenal transformation in a period of 4 years. If you listen to your body too much and the emotions being generated by hormones, you lose yourself. You do things that later on you pay a very big price. I want to urge you to manage the self, manage yourself. Don't allow emotions and hormones to take the better of you and guide you and drive your decisions. Remember, you are a human being. And what distinguishes human beings from animals is that we have intelligence. We were given and endowed with intelligence as the only species that has intelligence to be able to use our emotional intelligence and our intellect to suppress and to manage our emotions, so all our decisions, all our actions are rational, because we are rational human beings. So I want to appeal to you. Don't do things because others are doing. Don't do things because the body is as the heart. You feel the body. You are a human being with intelligence. Use your intelligence to say what is right and what is wrong. And it's very, very important that you. By managing yourself, then you have started the act of being a leader. We are talking about leading ourselves and not allowing emotions to lead us. Not allowing our peers to lead us, but we lead ourselves in what we do and what we say and how we act. You can never be a leader if you can't lead yourself. People follow people who have capacity to lead themselves. You don't have to have a title to be a leader. Today we can choose to be the leaders without title. And I want to appeal to you, each of you, without a title, be a leader. The leader without a title. And every time remind yourself, I'm a leader without a title. I must lead myself right. And I must be the example that others can emulate. That's when you hear others say, wow, it's worth emulating that boy. That boy means I'm there for himself. So today I want to invite you to the class and club of leaders. Leaders without title, but with the responsibility to lead themselves and to be the role model of their generation. To lead yourself best, then you must have a set of values that you follow. Values are the guardrails that keep us in check. we live values and others see behavior. Say, wow, that boy, that girl is very well behaved. All that they are saying is you are living their appropriate set of values. So then they see the behavior emanating from the values you live. And as they discuss you repeatedly, they start saying, no, that is his character, that is his personality, and that is what the 4 years is about. It's not just about hormonal change. It's not about developing beard. It's not about girls growing breasts. It's not about girls growing heat. No, it is beyond there. It is the character and personality formation. What type of a person will we get out of? What personality would society get out of? This is the phase of character and personality formation. And it's a simple choice, but the most powerful choice that you make. Our chairman of the selection board said, it's great to have great education, but it's even greater to have great values. That's all that he was saying. But values don't just come. Values are lived. Character doesn't just form. And you live after 4 years and you say a character, they get to make a decision. It's the decision itself. If you don't take control, your peers will take control and will influence the man or the woman you will become. I don't want to prune myself out. I want you to be yourself, to develop your own individuality, your own personality, and your own character. So I don't recommend any values. The values you pick, and you pick them consciously, knowing that the person you wish to be will be okay. Me, because that's a choice. And choice has consequences. And you are responsible for yourself. But allow me to suggest 3 things that really I would like you to embrace as the fundamental and foundation of humanness. And the first one is the value of humility. The value of humility. We all come from humble backgrounds. That's why we are beneficiaries of these scholarships, because there is financial need in our life. Humility will ensure you never forget who you truly are and where you are coming from. I'm not suggesting you live in the past. I am suggesting you constantly visit the past so that you remain grounded. You watch the past so that you can celebrate the progress you have made. You can celebrate. The power of celebrating and acknowledging achievements is like what you saw His Excellency the Deputy Governor. Starting here and saying, I went to school with a borrowed shirt, but we could see today he's able to buy his, not only just a shirt, look at his suit and look at his tie. That comparison of how he entered school and where he starts today is a measure of the progress he has made. When he reflects how he entered Form 1 and now he sees himself holding a PhD as a professor, it's a measure of progress made. And he has every right to celebrate. When you celebrate your achievement, you get motivated and you get inspired. And that is why it is always important not to live in the past, but to have flashback of where you have come from, so that you can appreciate the progress you have made yourself and congratulate yourself and make progress. Because humanness is about making progress. So So let's continue to celebrate our progress. But humility has another way of perspective. Humility grounds you and makes you live a real life. You don't act. Education success doesn't get into your head. Money don't get into your head. You don't act achievements. You act humanly. And the rest are able to relate with you, connect with you, because you are real. You are not a drama king, you are not a drama queen, who are ever acting in life. The only value that can ground you is humility. It doesn't matter how much money you have, it doesn't matter how much accomplishment you have, you relate with others at the human level. And that is the power of humility, that it humanizes you. Humility humanizes you and allows you to be an accepted member of the human race. Every species, and go and study your jackal, has its own characteristics. Our characteristics as human beings is humanness. And we only remain human. We only remain human if we choose to remain humble, so that we live at the foundation of human relationships. When you are humble, nobody fears you. When you are humble, everybody knows how to relate with you. And let me remind you, the opposite of humility is pride. And the Bible says pride comes, oh, so you know. You can see the prediction outright by many generations that have gone before us. That once you lose humility, you tip to pride. Pride gives you the ticket to be arrogant and to be proud. How many here would wish to relate with people who are arrogant and proud? It hurts others. You demean others. You don't appreciate others. And that is why it is important. You ground yourself in humanity by remaining very, very humble. The second one, and I really want to see whether we could share, is the value of consciousness. Never allow yourself to do things that you are not aware or you are not conscious of their consequences. This allows you to have a filter and a screen of what you can do and what you can do, determined by the outcomes and the way you affect others. Consciousness is a self-awareness. I'm aware of how I make others feel. I'm aware of how I affect others. Psychologists will tell us, people who have a consciousness, a self-awareness, are very emotionally intelligent. And they are the people who manage people's emotions very well. They are the darling of everybody. Because before they utter a word, they filter, because they ask themselves, how will this affect my body? How will this affect those who are listening to me? The greatest act value you could ever have on earth is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is developed by the consciousness of the mind. You have a filter before you utter the word. You have a filter before you act. The first rule is to only act as a human being. The second rule is you treat everybody as a human being. That is what emotional intelligence is all about. Let me tell you, my sons and daughters, you will be great leaders, transformational leaders, if you embrace the evolution of your self-consciousness. Fortunately, none of us is gifted with emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is developed. So you can choose to develop and truly become an iconic leader. Those are the leaders that you hear people saying, wow, what a leader. Because when they speak, and they can speak for a very long time, but they never use a long word. So they never hurt anybody's feelings. And they always say the right things in the eyes of their audience. And they always act the right way in the eyes of their audience. My lovely daughters and sons, I wish all of you would embrace the journey of developing your emotional intelligence. Because that is what society requires most. The third one is reverence. To some, reverence is acknowledgement. To others, reverence is fear, is respect, and anything that goes. But the greatest one is what we talk about, awareness of benevolence beyond your capability and competence. Benevolence beyond your capability. We do our very best, but our very best is not enough. We need favor. You did your very best in your application, but I can assure you, to be picked out of 11 other applicants, and out of 11 you are the one who is picked. To me, you enjoyed a certain level of favor. You enjoyed favor. The universe has conspired to grant you favor. For me, as a Christian, I say God's favor is upon you. To that force that I call God, to that benevolence, we hold ourselves and we maintain a relationship of reverence. I think our chairman of the board talked about a prayerful life. The Bible says, the fear of God, reference to God is the beginning of wisdom. That acknowledgement that you are not complete, that you are not in control of everything, that the universe has its role to make you successful or to make you fail, is a very basic cardinal rule in success, because it helps you to be, again, it helps you to be happy because you acknowledge that in your success there is God. In your success there is a universe that conspires to give you everything to make it happen. And so you live a life of gratitude. You live a life of acknowledgement of others. Any support you get, you appreciate it. You acknowledge it. That's reference. My sons, my daughters, it's something that will take you very, very, very far. And then I will allow you to feel the others. Every year I will be spending a week with you in what is called the annual conference. And we'll be asking ourselves, how are we developing? Academically, how well are we developing our emotional intelligence? and how well are we developing our culture. For me, I also give you another assignment. By end of evening, in addition to those 3 values, add the others that you want to be known. And we'll keep on giving you feedback that whether you are living those values, because from your behavior, we can tell the values you are living. From your behavior, we can tell. And you can be able to correct yourself. Give me a child until they are 18. I think the Bible says, prepare a child when young to who you like them to be. And when they grow up, they will never depart. My Lord Bishop, you can paraphrase that later on for me. But I believe the Bible predicts that a child is molded. That is what we are doing today. Try to mold the people you become. And we work on you very, very hard. Very, very hard to ensure that you don't only just become academically very successful. You are not just an academic excellent student, but you excel in forming the person that the society will treasure, that society will look upon as a leader with the right values. And that your emotional intelligence will grow as you grow. I mean, it grows by saying emotional intelligence is what we call wisdom. That person is wise. All that we are saying, that person is highly emotionally intelligent. That's what it is all about. And that is why wisdom is always associated with older people. Because they do. They say something, they see people how they are young. They know what never to say again. By the time they reach 60, they have a filter. Because they know human response. Try to develop that and you know it yourself. We've talked about now character. Very, very, a lot of it. But we are embarking on a journey, not of 4 years. Let me say here, my relationship with you, your relationship with everyone, whether you come from Wings to Fly or from Elimu scholarship program by the government, we have been contracted by the government to manage these programs. And so we said, there is no Elimu child and there is no Wings to Fly child. They are all Kenyan children. So from now on, we treat you the same. And those, I'm sure the principals might be aware. Last year, when COVID started and schools were closed, we wished our children could continue to study. But we knew the circumstances at home may not have been conducive. So for the 17,000 kids that were in school last year, both under Elimu's 9,000 from Elimu program and 8,000 from Equity Wings to Fly. We bought each of our scholars a solar panel so that they could have no excuse why they could not study. The solar panel came with a solar lamp. The solar panel came with a charger. And we gave them a small radio and a small board so that they could maintain contact with their teachers. They could maintain contact with the Ministry of Education programs that have been casted over it. That is the commitment. And to keep the boys away from being taken to the path of self-destruction, each of the 9 months, we gave each of the scholars that 3,500. And for the girls, we knew their expenses are more because of their more greater requirement. Each girl, every month, received 4,000 shillings. That is the commitment we have for you. And the question is, for that committee, what will you show when you are 80, when we look at you? You notice, by giving you everything, we have taken away all the excuses away from you. You have no excuse. That's why the scholarship pays for your school fees, pays for your transport, pays for your shopping, pays for your pocket money, and for your uniform. You have no excuse. And that is why I was trying to help to ensure you don't live a life of regret. I don't envy the 10% of the students who have not made it to university. Because in the village, they'll be so and so and so. They were together with the other scholars. There was a program for orphans, Wings to Fly and Elimu, and he was a beneficiary. And the village is just, then what happened? And you'll be ashamed to confront the village, to walk in the streets of the village, because you can't be able to explain. You got everything to make it happen, but you failed to make it happen. That's why I'm spending an hour with you, because you are the determinant of your own fate. Allow me to move to the last one. Is the company you keep. Life is a journey. And in the journey of life, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far in life, you go with others. The question is, who are these others that I can go with? I want to recommend the three. The first one, first and foremost, are your parents, your guardians, and your family. I want to assure you, nobody can love you more than you are loved by your family. And if you really want to know how much they love you, just reflect when you were born naked, how vulnerable you are, that the only thing you could do on earth was to cry out, because you even acknowledge to yourself how vulnerable you are. And here you are now. You have been nurtured, protected to a level that you can now make your own decisions. That is what is called nurturing. Your parents have nurtured. They have nurtured you with a lot of love. And I want you to clear your mind about having complaints about your partner. They may not have done everything the way you love them to do and per script, but live a life of gratitude, knowing that you were very vulnerable. And they picked you, they nurtured you until you became a somebody. Trust and walk beside them. Never in your life abandoned because of their circumstances and because of your situation change. We were told by the county commission of the example in a relative and what happened. That is what we expect you to do to your family, to your city. It has been sad to observe a few examples of where this scholarship program almost put you in a different world from your siblings. Most of you have siblings. Please remember they are your brothers and sisters. They may not have the privileges. You cannot share the school fees with them because we pay directly to the school. You may not even be able to share the shopping with them because we give you as we take you to school. You may not be able to share the pocket money with them because we deposit it with the bazaar and you withdraw. And we monitor how you are withdrawing. But remember they are your brothers and your sisters. Affection, and that is why humility will allow you to connect with them. That is why consciousness and awareness of how you speak in their presence counts most. because you are now the most favored. You are the luckiest, and everybody looks here and listen very carefully how you speak. The second one is work with your teacher. And the principals are here, the teachers are here. Work with them. This far, they have cared. They have shown concern. They brought you even the application form to fill. They announced in class so that you could know of the existence of this program. The teacher is professionally trained in nurturing, but have a relationship of reverence to your teacher. Have a relationship of respect to your teacher. Don't have the arrogance that everything is paid for you. And so you have no need to build the relationship. Fight the deal. That, I invited the religious leaders here. We said in this journey, we need the company of prayers. We need reverence. Let's go to church so that they help our places of worship. And constantly remind ourselves of where we are. And our relationship with the benevolent force in our life. Our relationship with the universe. Our relationship with our Maker. Our relationship with God. And ask a bishop or your pastor or your father to pray for you. So God's favor can continue to be with you. The worst you can ever do is to lose favor. Once we observe those 5 tenets, I tell you, my lovely sons, my lovely daughters, you will excel academically. You grow and develop into men and women of great character. You'll be personalities that will be honored and respected. You'll be role models in society, and you have a significant impact on society. You'll be great leaders who will be selected because you did the rest. And community will look upon you. But let me add this, that this scholarship may not provide everything. We'll try as much as possible to give you love. Every child needs parental love. And we'll do it. All those ahead of you, all of them, I give them the opportunity. Those who are open to find the dad in me, and they all call me that. I want to extend the same opportunity to you. If you have nobody to call a dad, here you are. I offer myself to you, and I'll treat you like all my children. Because we must move away from the captive of what you don't have. I don't have a father, I don't have a mother, we are poor. I want to remind you, there is no child who is poor. Your parents can be poor, but you can't be poor because no child is allowed to own anything. Everything belongs to their father. So you are brand new. Don't go to school with a mindset of inadequacy, a mindset of need, a life of complaints. You think that you are entitled to complain. There is nothing to complain about. And it is a shame for you to say you are poor, because a child cannot be poor. No child is poor. Their parents can be poor. But you can't go to inherit the status and situation of your parents. That is the past. Yours is into the future. Redeem yourself from the trap of self-pity, because you never become anybody if you live in a world of self-pity. Never live in a world of inadequate, because you are adequate. And if you want to know you are adequate, I want to confirm to you, you were in the top 5% performance in Kakamega County. So 95% of the children were behind. You are talented, you are gifted, you have IQ is very high. That's what you have. Let me say this, that we don't pay because of what we don't have. We don't fail because of what we don't have. We fail because of failing to use what we have. You have a natural gift. That's why you want to be a scholar. You have God's favor upon you. You can count on God and say, I'll do my part and the Lord will fulfill my dream. But you must have that in your mind. You must redeem yourself from living a life of complaint and agitation of what we don't have. It is not what we don't have that makes us successful. It's the use of what we have that makes us successful. And I want to remind you in the documentary of what Brian said. Brian is a young man when he was at the age of 1. The house got fire. He said, other boys look at me as if I'm different. I don't see myself different because I can write, I can see, and I can read. He has realized what he has and what he needs to use. Don't live a life of celebrating what you don't have. There's nothing to celebrate in what you don't have. But there is everything to celebrate in what you have. A life of contentment with what you have. They say grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. But the wise one says the green grass is always in the greener pasture. Pastures are always greener across the fence, but the green grass is always in the green pasture. Learn to celebrate what you have. And one thing nobody can take away from you that you can celebrate is that you are the heroes of your age mates. You led them. They gave way to you to have this scholarship because you were the best. God's favor is upon you and you can proclaim it. And you have lucky parents who have seen you this far. And you have the helping heart of your teachers, the helping heart of the clergy, and the helping heart of your teachers, in addition to your family. I've taken an hour. For me, I've done what I came to do. I will go from Kakamega a very fulfilled person. But I had the intention of making a difference. Starting with you, I hope I made the difference. It's you who determines whether it was worth it. But I wish myself, and I believe Professor would have wished, there was somebody who would have shared with us those words. Because they are words of using the real meaning, reflection, and saying what would have been important. I want to encourage you as I beg to see by telling you that those who were ahead of you have been very successful. Don't be the exception. I want to invite the chaplains who have been taking care of you. The 22 of you, I hope you're in the hall. Kindly come in front. Chaplain, quickly. Quickly. Very good. Yeah, good. Come on, the last step will be very good. Step on the last one. That one is the next one. Thank you. look at the team in front of you. That team is of people who were seated where you are seated maximum 7 years ago. They are all beneficiaries of the Wings to Fly program. Majority of them are from this county, but the criteria of them here was that they are within the university. I'm sure Masita Murido might have a lot of them. How many are in Masita Murido? You can, Professor, you can see the contribution you are making. And you can see the voluntary heart you are coming here and said, we'll join, we'll come and give back. They're doing what the board was doing, giving their time to make a difference. And for the last couple of years, they have been with us. So today, it's a beginning of a journey for your lifetime with Equity Group Foundation. And I can assure you as the chairman of Equity Foundation, when you finish at 4, those who score an A and an A minus, the following day, after you get your result, you report to Equity and start working. So we'll be moving from learning to earning. Because instead of the pocket money, when you come to returning to the bank, from the 500 shillings monthly pocket money, we'll give you 40,000 shillings to prepare for your university school fees. And some of them say, the government of Kenya will give me school fees. I will use, they will normally ask 400 and 500,000 shillings to university. They will start money to pay school fees for all their siblings. They will lift the living standard of the family. But you can only join them if you get an A. That is the incentive. That is the carrot in this program. The stake is to keep you out of the program if you don't sustain a B+. The carrot is that you join Equity Leadership Program. This is a leadership program. This is a mentorship program. Look at them. They are exactly like you, but they used the scholarship very, very well. They had a purpose. They were intentional. They were deliberate in the use of the scholarship. And you see them. We always laugh from school uniform to a suit as they join the band. But look at how elegant they have become. While still a student, and we can imagine how they will be when they are my age. These are examples. I don't know whether there is a mic. I would like to give a few the mic to tell you the village. Most likely they come from your village. Let's start with the first one there, and we can be jumping to.
Good morning, everyone.
All salutations are done. Just say, I'm so and so from this village, and I'm doing this course in university.
I'm Cynthia Liabuli from Buseta village. I'm doing medical social work in Masidemura University.
Medicine. And you from her?
I'm Brian Ogori, Masindamlero, taking paramedicine from Kisi, the interior part of it. That's where we're taken from. Thank you.
Medicine. I'm Diana Agiso Evelyn from Masinde Muliro, taking BCom accounting from Emuno village in Vihiga County.
Promote yourself up here. I did a Bachelor of Commerce. This might be the next CEO of Equity Bank.
I'm Ruth Malenya, taking Economics and Statistics, University of Nairobi. I come from Sigalagala. Yes.
Now that might be the next Minister of Finance in the Republic of Kenya. Finance, Economics, Finance and Statistics.
I am Mercy Moeni in Masinemolino pursuing Bachelor of Education Arts, Geography Kiswahili from Machakos County.
The next principal of Kakamega is here with us.
I'm Kaguru Jeroge from Masinemolino University, pursuing Mechanical Industrial Engineering.
I'm Benjamin Makari from Virembe Village in Kakamega, in Masinemolino University of Science and Technology, taking Bachelor of Education Arts, English Literature.
We have Goge over there.
I'm Maxwell Romani from Shinyalu, Ileho Village, taking physiotherapy.
I'm Robert Sharon Achego from Kisumu County, from MUST, pursuing Bachelor of Science in Medical Sociology.
Give the other side for the other side.
I'm Joseph Moseti at MUST, pursuing Mechanical and Industrial Engineering from Kisumu County.
The guy who did the industrialization of this country.
I am Shine Chapkoet from Narok County at Masinemolino University, pursuing Bachelor of Education Arts, English and Literature.
Wow! Mauti. Carlo Goteno, Masinemolino University of Science and Technology, pursuing Bachelor of Arts Education, Kiswahili and History.
I am Asumu Oliver from MUST, taking Education, Kiswahili and Geography from Vigo.
I'm Nick Grace Amalika from Matete T. Recently graduated from Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, taking Bachelor of Education.
I'm Jerry Ann from Nyeri County, currently at MUST, taking Bachelor in Criminology.
The criminals, she's at war with the criminals. Thank you very much, my brother.
I'm Clifton Madani from Viga County, studying at Jaramogi Oginga University, taking Bachelor of Business Administration Accounting option.
I'm Samuel Tom from Moabe County, taking Electrical Communication Engineering at Masinemolino.
Devota Munamu from Nyandaka County, taking Criminology and Criminal Justice.
The others tell us, when were you sitting, which year would you have been sitting like the scholar?
I'm Sariko Mkuu. I'm from Taita Taveta County. I'm a fourth year taking Bachelor of Education Arts, History and Kiswahili at Masinemolino University.
Which year did you join the program?
2013.
2013.
I'm Lydia Kimungui from Trans Nzoia County. I'm in Maseno University, taking Bachelor of Science in Nursing.
And lastly,
I'm John Adiambo from Siaya County, currently in MUST, taking Bachelor in Science. I joined MUST in 2013.
now, look at them very carefully. These daughters and sons decided to defer, to delay gratification of the pressures of life. They chose to pursue their dreams. My last request is there will be a lot of distractions. There will be a lot of things coming your way to steal your dream, your purpose, and they will manifest themselves as fear, group, manifest themselves as pressure. But you need to know that the ladies you can see here were once as young as you. Look how beautiful the girls have become. Look at how beautiful they have become. If you chose to drop out of this program and get married, who will marry? Ask yourself that. These ones are assured they are doctors, so they are going to be married by doctors. Which doctor will marry?
will marry you. Just think through the power of delayed gratification, what it means. And see, the more independent you become, the more capable you become, the better the presentation of yourself will be. The more sophisticated you become, the more sophisticated you are able to play in a different league. I asked them to start before you, because what separates you and them is the 3 or 4 years of university education and the 4 years. It's 7 years. But see what difference 7 years can make if you use the 7 years well. Look at them. The stars. We were told I can see stars. Look at the stars as they emerge. In about 12 years ago, I went to Kaparatojo. Oh, let me say. So once you join the leadership program, you automatically, you join the leadership program, whether you get an A or not. But if you get an A, you get instant employment. It's called internship. For those who get instant internship, we work on them to get international universities so that we can have our public universities and international universities. This year, the cohort that joined us, 700 last year, 180 managed to get university scholarships approved. As we speak, we have 900 of our scholars who are studying outside the country. 36 of them are studying in Harvard University. 32 are in Yale University. And on and on and on. Stanford, we have 24. Those are the opportunities we will avail to you. But you must delay gratification. You must choose to pursue your dream. Let's put our hearts together to our mentors. And I can see under huge pressure, I can see those who go abroad, we have an example here. She has already stood to tell me my time is over. Ben Wabelu was where you were 20 years ago. She went to University of Nairobi, where I also went. And then she got a scholarship to Yale University in the United States to do her master's. Then she went to do her PhD in Canada and did her PhD, that's why we call her doctor. And now she said, I received much, I will give back much. So she's the director of the program. And you can see, director, we are a director at the age of 60. She is a director and in her 30s. That is what difference it can be. We had Anthony Siloi from Paratojo. He came and went to Harvard. Today he's an engineer in the American space program called NASA. A Kenyan from Parito here. We have Aaron Mackenzie from WIC. Today is the global distribution of vaccines in AstraZeneca. Those are the opportunities ahead of you. That is what this program is about. It's not about 4 years. It's about whatever you want to become, we integrity support. And since the director is requesting I sit, and thank you very much. I apologize for keeping you. This was not yours. It was for the children, but I'm glad you joined us. Thank you very much.
Let's give the clap you're giving. Scholars, appreciate Dr. Mwangi again. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the program. As you heard, and it's a privilege to have you join us. I think you've had your first mentorship session the last 2 days, and we are very privileged to have had Dr. Mwangi. We are going to give you scholarship award letters. You will receive 3 of them. And as I do that, I'll ask the banners to be brought forward, and I'll be inviting our guests in a moment. So the 3 letters, one will be to your parent, one to your school principal, and one for yourself. But today we wanted to have about 20 of you just receive letters. I think you know yourself, as you represent the other students. So kindly, Dr. Mwangi, our Deputy Governor, our County Commissioner, if you could kindly join us at the front here. And the scholars, Purity, if you could raise your hand, where are you? Purity, Tabaji, okay. All right, so you can put the banners at the front, on the steps, on the carpet. Yeah, so that they are visible. Thank you. So if I call you, please quickly stand up and you'll come here, you'll receive your letter, and you'll take a photo, and then we join the other students. Purity, right there. Andati Geredo. All right. Let's clap for Andati receiving an Elimu Scholarship Award. Thank you. Next, I have Franklin Leande. Please come with me. And I'll be calling Michael. Please go to that side. Thank you. If you could help her. That's
Michael.
Franklin.
Come on this side.
Come on this side. Michael Anyanga, please go to the other side. Please pass behind the camera persons. Kindly. Next, I have Faustin Mungala, pass behind the camera person. Please line up, you know yourself. If you're receiving a letter, please stand up and line on that side. Next, Ben Zioka.
This is for Mungala is what with us?
Faustin. Kindly scholars. And next after Faustin, I'll be calling Michael.
Faustin is not where?
Faustin Mungala.
Are you Faustin?
No, Michael. Okay, Michael, come. Oh, sorry. Ben Zioka.
Commissioner.
Ben Zioka. Duncan Nyangweso is next. Please stand next there. And next I'll be calling Brighton. That's the next one is Duncan. Let's clap for them. After Brighton, I'm calling you on. Okay. Let's appreciate Brighton. Thank you. Next I'm calling Bravi. Yvonne, receive your letter. Yes. Yvonne. Thank you. Bravi right here. Clara Namula. Is that Bravi? Okay, let's do Bravi first. Bravi, go and receive your letter from Dr. Mwangi. Thank you. Thank you, Clara.
My Lord Bishop.
Next, I'm working Annette Museshi. Right.
Look at the camera. Commissioner, you can come on this side.
Right, thank you, that's Annette. Let's appreciate Annette, please. Please, please pass. Right, Evin Sumira. Next I have Pampilia Licasso, Consolo. Hold on.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, next I have Victor. That's Pampilia. Let's clap for her. Victor Mega.
Thank you.
Right.
When is your turn?
Victor.
Victor.
Alright, next I have Annabelle Juma. You first right there. First, wait. Annabelle Juma. Annabelle Juma there. Thank you. Next I'm calling Grace Ashihanga. Praise Ashikanga. Okay, let's give him a moment and appreciate praise. Let's appreciate praise Ashikanga. Right, thanks. The next up, we're going Brighton Muchele. Brighton Muchele.
Let me hold the books for you. Hold the books. Hey, thank you.
All right, Sharif Lukalia. Sharif Lukalia.
Take the books to him.
All right, thank you very much. And now scholars. Faustin has been, Faustin. All right, last but not least, we have Faustin. Let's appreciate Faustin as you come. All right, thank you very much. So scholars are now lined up here and can be joined by some of the selection board members. Scholars spread all the way to the end. Kindly our selection board members present, we can come and have a look at the scholars. And then as I do that, the scholars who are sitting in the front row, I'll ask you to stand up and move to the back. In the back, and don't move the chair, please, without the guest on there. Selection board members, kindly. Yeah, let's take Faustin. Thank you. Thank you. And next I have our school principals joined please by our Vice Chancellor to kindly join us. Our school principals and the Vice Chancellor. There's some space here, scholars can step down. Thank you very much. And now, with your kind indulgence, County Commissioner and the CEO of Kakamega can have the first seats. Scholars, please go back. All the scholars, please be outstanding. Tafadhali. Have your flags. Kuna bendera. Peperusha bendera. Scholars, thank you very much. And now it's my singular honor to kindly ask us to be silent. Please just be silent. Scholars, we are starting so we can have the benediction. Let's have the benediction. Scholars, you want to say something? You have something? In 1 minute, less than a minute. Okay.
And earth. Lord our God, in your wisdom and love, you surround us with the mysteries of the universe. In times long past, you sent us your prophets to teach your law and to bear witness to your undying love. You sent us your Son to teach us by word and example that true wisdom comes from you alone. Send your Spirit upon these scholars who have been selected and have been awarded scholarships in their studies. Bless them, bless their teachers, bless their mentors, bless their parents, bless their guardians, and bless all those who have supported them to this point, and as they continue to pursue their studies to the highest level, that Lord, you may fill them with your wisdom and blessings. Grant that during the time they are going.
Salama umekuwa mzuri. Elimu iendelee.
Asante. Safari njema. Safe journey.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Kwa majina mimi naitwa Walter Mwanga na Soho. Mimi ni head teacher wa shule inaitwa St. Paul's Lwahupa kule Navaholo. tena nilipewa nafasi ya kuwa chairman wa head teachers wa Navakholo Capture. Tuko hapa Kakamega High School kwa sababu ya mambo ya elimu scholarship pamoja na Wings to Fly. Tumekuwa na mkutano ulio mzuri. CSO wa Equity amekuwa hapa na wanafunzi wako tayari kabisa kwenda kuweka bidii katika masomo yao wakienda katika vyuo vya upili katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, vyuo mbalimbali. Mimi kama mwenyekiti wa head teachers wa Navakholo ningependa kushukuru mpangilio huu Wings to Fly, watu wa Equity kwa mpangilio huu wa kuwezesha watoto kuendeleza masomo yao, na pia serikali yetu ya Kenya kupitia kwa Elimu Scholarship wameweza kupeana tena scholarship mingi kwa watoto wetu wa Navakholo. Kwa jumla wote wa Navakholo ambao wamepata scholarship ni 114. Hiyo ni idadi kubwa sana kwa sababu Navakholo is a ground whereby there is a lot of poverty. Kwa hivyo naamini ya kuwa sasa Navakholo itaenda kuwa na mwangaza kupitia kwa mpangilio huu wa scholarship hizi mbili, na walimu pamoja na wazazi wa Navakholo wameshukuru sana kwa mpangilio huo. Kusema ya kuwa mashirika mengine ambayo yapo mbali na World Bank ambao waliungana pamoja na serikali yetu ya Kenya kutoa hiyo elimu scholarship, mashirika mengine ya uwezo yaje ili watoto wengi, sababu walikuwa watoto wote ambao waliapply katika Navakholo walikuwa 310 na kitu, na only 114 ndio walichukuliwa. Kwa hivyo kuna wengi tena tumeacha nje ambao wanatakana usaidizi. Kwa hiyo naomba ya kuwa mashirika mbalimbali wale wana uwezo pia waje chini mashinani ili wapate kusaidia watoto wetu waendeleze masomo yao.
Brenda Bushuru, Navakholo sub county kutoka shule ya msingi ya Tumaini. Na ningependa kuchukua fursa hii kushukuru Bwana Dr. James Mwangi kwa kutupatia fursa hii ya kuweza kujisajili na kutuhifadhi katika masomo yetu.
Ungetaka kwa nini?
Ningependa kuwa engineer. Naitiri Girls in Bungoma. Nimeitwa katika shule ya sekondari ya Naitiri. 282.
My name is Sharif Lukalia. My name is Sharif Lukalia from Mwamba, a village in Lugari constituency. I scored 383 marks and have been called at Kibabi High School. I would really like to thank Elimu Scholarship because it will enable me to pursue my education. Thank you. In future, I'd like to be a neurosurgeon.
My name is Latan Wafula. I come from Mwamba, the village in Lugari. I learn in Mwamba Primary School. I scored 336 marks. And I'm going to AIC, Moi Haibo, Kaplamai. I would like to thank Equity because they have supported me. Sikuwa na ile uwezo ya nini.